Hey guys, what's up? It's Heckleaf here, and I am really excited to bring this video to you guys. We're talking today about the best Silver Surfer deck that I have personally found and been able to utilize to maintain my stay in Infinite. The reason I like this deck so much is because it's very versatile and it has a really unpredictable finish and an unpredictable mid-game. So I think that's really what you need when you want to climb in Marvel Snap, because of course you need to get your opponent to snap to get more cubes, or at least to stay in, think they have a chance. So you gotta make plays that are unpredictable to be successful. The difference between this Silver Surfer deck and the other ones out there is this one has play inspired by a content creator I really like named Educated Collins. He's currently the #1 Marvel Snap player, and he loves the card Scarlet Witch. I also love the card Scarlet Witch because he put me onto it. This card just offers up so many opportunities for the Silver Surfer archetype in general. So without further ado, let's get into the deck list. The first thing we're going to talk about is my inclusion of one drop card, and that's Iceman. The reason I put Iceman in here is to fill out that curve so we have a play on turn 1 sometimes, and also a play on turn 4 if we have to play at 3 cost, or 5, depending on if we have extra energy, right? And obviously we can blow this up with Killmonger later. We're only using it for the utility, nothing to be worried about there. Our next card is Scorpion, and this is just another tech card, just another LOL good card, right? Scorpion ends up getting nerfed, or there's another 2-drop card that offers more utility. This can get swept in as well for Scorpion, but right now Scorpion does a really good job. Scarlet Witch is the nice tech card here that I've been really loving, one of the standout cards in this deck. The reason she's so good is because your opponent might have a play based on location, or maybe it's a hot location, or there's a location that just kind of screws you over. You just wipe that out, right? And it's cheap. We also have Storm too, so we can pretty much change our location every game 1 or 2 times. Most games you have that option. We also have our Silver Surfer, of course, the main bread and butter, play it last if you can. Rogue is another tech card that's really useful because you're running into a lot of Darkhawks, a lot of Zabus, you're running into just a lot of ongoing cards. Even the Galactus null play, you completely destroy it if you don't have priority, right? Brood, unreplaceable card, best Silver Surfer combo card in the game. Always play Brood with Silver Surfer. Storm, another really great card, and especially because we have Juggernaut too, so we're able to do that 1-2 punch, Storm on turn 3 and Juggernaut on turn 4 just to win that lane, right? Killmonger is a pretty self-explanatory card because of the current meta we are in right now, where Sunspot gets played a lot. So Sunspot, if you play Killmonger on turn 6 before the Surfer, you pretty much just absolutely wipe out a lot of their power typically, and that's enough to swing a lane. If you're running into a lot of Ultron Patriots, save Killmonger and lose priority on 5, and on turn 6 play it after the Ultron's already come out. Boom, you got a free win, right? Thor is the next card here, and I think that Thor might actually not be required. Polaris is another great card for this deck, but I don't like Polaris as much as I like Thor. The reason I like Thor is because he's kind of a mind game, because you don't know, well, you don't really know until the last turn, but the enemy doesn't know if it's going to be a 3-4 or a 3-10, right? So you could have that Mjolnir. They don't really know, and they kind of have to account for it. And if you play him on turn 3, I think it's around a 50 or 60% chance that you draw Mjolnir. The only thing that can happen with Thor is if you don't have Surfer, and you need one of your other cards, Mjolnir can lower your odds of getting that draw, right? Maximus, no introduction, broken card with Surfer. 3-7, the drawback isn't even a drawback. It's just pure value, especially if you even play it on turn 6. Those 2 cards mean nothing unless you're playing against someone who is playing Devil Dino. Sarah, again, unreplaceable card. Let's get into actually using this, and I'm also going to show you how to use it in the context of winning the game with it, when to snap, and also when to retreat. Okay guys, for the first game, we have a very not great starting hand here. Oh, never mind, we got the Silver Surfer, so that's pretty good. And with this first location that came out, a Thor is going to be great there, because our Thor in this case is probably going to be either a 3-10 or a 3-13. So probably a 3-13. They play the Misty Knight. Okay, so this is a Patriot deck, and we got the Thor. Great, awesome. So this is a pretty decent hand for us. We're going to be able to push. We're definitely going to win the left this game because of the Silver Surfer and Thor combo, or probably at least. We don't know if we get the Mjolnir yet. Yeah, so Thor, obviously, we put it down on turn 3 because we want the high odds of the Mjolnir. Now, the Patriot does come out on the right lane, which is interesting because the Baxter building, he would want to win that for the extra power. So we can just ignore the middle and push all of our power into the right. That should be our game plan. We don't really have any cards that are super optimal here, but I'm thinking about putting a Maximus and an Iceman in the right because that would push a lot of power. And the Iceman, obviously, we can just blow up with Killmonger to make room in the right lane if we need to. So that's fine. That's not too bad. A Mystique here. Okay, we really want to draw a Rogue. If we get our Rogue here, then we're able to take a lot of power from them just by taking the Patriot. We get the Mjolnir, so great. So we know our Thor is going to win the left lane. There's pretty much nothing he can do. I'm trying to think. We don't really have any super great plays here because we don't have our Sarah, so we can't play that. I'm thinking of just playing a Killmonger, blowing up the Iceman, making space, and hoping we get a Rogue. So that blows up their Misty Knight and our Iceman. And we definitely win the left, yeah, of course. Oh, a Cosmo. So now we can't play our on reveals in the right lane, so we can't play our Mjolnir or our Silver Surfer in the right. So that's unfortunate. We probably play Storm in the right for power, and then a Silver Surfer and a Mjolnir in the middle, of course. And I'm going to snap here because I don't think there's any way he can win. One thing to keep in mind is it might not be super optimal to snap on the last turn. The reason I did it here was because I felt like he was going to stay in. But I think that in this case, if you're playing against a really good player, probably just don't snap. Get the 2 cubes guaranteed. But it does not look like he has any plays here. An Ultron would not do anything. Okay, so that's our massive power push. Let's see what he has. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, Squirrel Girl, not going to do anything. And of course, okay, Shang-Chi. Alright, yeah. So if he did not Cosmo the right lane, he would have had more room to push for Baxter building, but he did not. So that ended up being a suboptimal play from him. Let's head into the next game. Okay, so we know we have our Sarah here, which is decent. But we're still missing our Silver Surfer, which is not great. With the Onslaught Citadel, we can put our Sarah there and make everything a 1 cost. So that's really optimal. And we have our Scarlet Witch. So if they have crazy Onslaught Citadel plays, we can always just Scarlet Witch the Onslaught Citadel. But I don't think we're going to play her now because obviously we want that surprise factor so we can snap. Okay, we have our Scorpion, so that's really good. We can damage his hand. I think the Maximus right, and then maybe we want to keep the Sarah in the left. So we want to utilize Onslaught Citadel. So we might end up just Scarlet Witching the right. That might be the play here. We got a Rogue, so that's great. If they do end up playing an Onslaught Citadel, we take it. So yeah, this is a pretty decent play from us. We're going to be able to take the right lane, get a pretty big lead in the right. Oh, Mr. Negative. But he played Mr. Negative on turn 4, so we shouldn't be too worried. We're kind of expecting a magic here, but if we don't see a magic on this turn, we pretty much have a decent play, because he's only going to have 2 Mr. Negative cards, so that's not so bad. And again, if he does end up playing into Onslaught Citadel, we can always just put down a Rogue and take whatever he has. I'm actually going to end up snapping here because I don't feel like he's going to be able to beat us. But let's see what happens. We also have our Juggernaut for turn 6. We can knock him out of the Onslaught Citadel too. So that's good. Okay, he doesn't play anything into the Citadel. So now we have a bunch of 1-cost cards. And okay, so it looks like it's a negative Surfer deck. And in that case, we're definitely going to beat him, I think. Because we can play all of our cards here. So, oh, okay, alright. He ends up just retreating. So that makes a lot of sense. Good thing we snapped the turn earlier, so we got 2 cubes out of that. So that's good. Good play. Okay, in our last game, We have our Brood, so that's a good hand, and we have another Onslaught Citadel in the left. We can Juggernaut in the left. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, you know, we think about if they want to play something on on turn 6, we just Juggernaut into the Citadel, and then they will be able to play there. So we knock them out of that. Scorpion's an obvious play here, obviously. So we have a Maximus in the right. Didn't we have a sewer system last game too? That's pretty crazy. So we're actually going to storm into the sewer system, and we're going to storm Juggernaut, I think is my plan. Storm, Juggernaut, Iceman. Ooh, they play a Bishop, so they might actually be able to contest our power. So we might want to... I'm thinking of putting a Maximus, but I'm going to do the Juggernaut instead. That ends up being decent. So we played Iceman there. What do we knock? We knock a Mr. Negative into that. Okay. That's pretty good for us. That is pretty good for us. So we have -2 power on the left because of that Scorpion play. We're going to Sarah into the left so we can, on turn 6, deploy everything. We're really here hoping for our Surfer to come out. If our Surfer doesn't come out, we are in a really rough spot because that Bishop is going to get massive with the Mr. Negative cards he plays. So what does he end up playing? He plays a Wong and a Mystique. Oh no. Oh no. So that's a pretty terrible situation, and we don't get Surfer. And he snaps. To be honest, I don't think there's a physical way we win this because he's going to play the Surfer probably there. He's going to make that Bishop massive, and he's going to be able to play even just a Brood in the middle, and he just kills us, right? Even if we Scarlet Witch the Citadel, it's still going to be a crazy amount of Silver Surfer procs. It's not winnable from us. So we just take the 1 cube loss and just continue on with our life. Alright, for the last game, we have our Surfer, and we have our Thor, and we have our Rogue. So I really like this hand, and Elysium comes out, so we don't even need a Sarah, and we're going to be able to play all of our cards out. So that's really optimal for us. There's an Onslaught Citadel, so we should be watching out for that with our Rogue. Let's play our Thor out because we want that early Mjolnir chance, because we already have Surfer. There's no problems. This is going to be a big game for us, probably. Captain America comes out. So I'm thinking about roguing that, because Captain America, yeah, I'm going to snap here, because I think we just Scarlet Witch the right, because we don't want the game to get thrown off X Mansion. And then we Onslaught Citadel, or Rogue in the Onslaught Citadel, take his Captain America power. What does he actually end up playing here, though? That is the question. I don't know what he has. I'm assuming... Okay, so he's playing Zoo. So he did not play the Khazar in Citadel. That's weird. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm probably going to Juggernaut middle, because that way if he plays like a Blue Marvel, because it's turn 4 and he can play a Blue Marvel right now because of Elysium. So if he plays Blue Marvel, we knock him out of that with the Juggernaut. Yeah, I think Juggernaut's the play. I think Juggernaut's the play here. And we should probably save our Killmonger for the next turn. So we'll do Storm, Juggernaut. And he skips, I guess, the turn. Wow, that's crazy to me. That's really crazy that he skips. I don't know why he would do that. We're waiting for him to throw down his Zoo cards. So that's when we're going to play Killmonger. Let's just play the Maximus right now. We don't really need to play anything else. Let's really hope he throws down some 1-cost cards here so we can throw our Killmonger down. Maybe a Shauna or something. Is this a Patriot deck? This is a really weird deck to me. We can play all of our cards here. So we're going to play Brood, Killmonger, Surfer. And there's, you know, that's just a perfect play for us. So we've already snapped. This is pretty optimal Silver Surfer deck gameplay right here. You know, the possibilities he could play. Maybe he plays, I don't know. He plays Ultron. He might play Ultron in the left lane. In that case, we definitely win. Not in Ultron. I don't know what he's gonna play here, honestly. Surfer gets big. He plays a Cyclops. Misty Knight. Oh, he might beat us in the right. A Doctor Doom, but we beat him though. We beat that. That's not too much of an issue. Great. That's an awesome game. Yeah, that's basically how you pilot the Silver Surfer deck, you know, using that Scarlet Witch to change locations is pretty good strategy. I want to thank you guys so much if you watched all the way to the end of this video. It really is super awesome that you did. This is actually my first Marvel Snap video I've ever made, so I would really appreciate some feedback in the comments on what I can improve in this guide. Also, let me know if this guide did end up working for you, or you have another Silver Surfer list you like better. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next video.